Community radio station will provide you with more information. Rainier Avenue Radio.
How would COVID vaccines work in your body? Here are 3 things to know. Number 1, a vaccine is basically a training session for the immune system. Vaccines teach the immune system to look for the key features of a virus. So when a virus does show up, it's ready to fight it off. Number 2, a vaccine gives your body a plan to recognize the virus. Then your immune system starts preparing by making antibodies, or fighter cells, that stay in your blood as protection in case the virus tries to invade. What this means is you get immunity against the disease without having to get sick first. Number 3, when enough people's bodies know how to fight off a virus, it has nowhere to go. That slows the spread. When people get a vaccine, we're able to stop the spread quicker and get closer to ending the pandemic. To learn more, go to covidvaccinewa.org. A message from the state of Washington.
1, 2, get down! What's up, big and little homies? This is Masvita Maraire, host of Seattle Sports Weekly on Rainier Avenue Radio World, your one-stop shop for Seattle sports. We cover preps, we cover college, we cover pro, we cover it all. Huskies, Mariners, Seahawks, Garfield, South, Roosevelt, Metro, King County. This is what you want to listen to for all the sports that's happening in Seattle. Seattle Sports Weekly on Rainier Avenue Radio World. See a bad mother.
Atlantic Street Center has been serving the children, youth, and families of the Seattle King County area since 1910. We partner with families and communities to raise healthy, successful children and youth through services including counseling, early learning, youth development, domestic violence, and education support for school-aged children. Committed to serving the African American community, Atlantic Street Center provides services and support for all marginalized people. Learn more at AtlanticStreetCenter.org.
Would you like to see when your favorite Rainier Avenue radio show comes on? Check out our show schedule, updated weekly at RainierAvenueRadio.world.
Well, good evening, and welcome to another edition of Monday Night Sports. I'm Rick DuPree, and we are excited to bring you another show. And that there is an NFL legend, a Seahawks legend, a South Carolina State legend, Edwin Bailey. How are you, sir? Hold up, you're mute. I'm not hearing you. Are you muted? Come on, man. Come on. Let's see, we got it. No, I'm still not hearing you. Keep working on it. Keep talking. Let's keep talking. Oh, there we are. There we are. I got you. It? Yes, sir. I got you. How's it going?
Hey, Rick, I'm happy to be here, man.
Okay.
Just happy to be here.
Yeah, so I just want to show people when I say NFL legend. look at that. Look at that, man.
I was fit back then.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So Corky Truan, who longtime Seahawks photographer, was working the chain gang at the high school games this weekend that we were covering, and he brought Edwin a big old pack and had those pictures. Edwin gave this to me, and I said, Edwin, I need you to sign it. I'm just putting you on blast, man. I'm sorry.
I'll take it. That's okay. I can take it.
It was, I ain't signed it. I said, man, it ain't going up on my wall. It ain't going to be framed until you sign it. So, but I got it right here on my desk. So
that's a good place to be.
Anyway, excuse me. So I want to welcome our listeners, or if you're tuning in, you can tune in on Facebook Live on, I think, can you see the show, Daniel, on YouTube and Twitch as well? I believe you can. Is that correct? So, we got a lot of different avenues. Yes, a lot of different avenues that you can check us out if you want to see our mugs, or if you want to just listen. Edwin, we talked about last week, and I want to just highlight this a little bit more, and we'll show a little bit of a video of the All-Star Weekend, as we're talking about it. But, the NBA All-Star Weekend, and really they condensed it down. Everything was yesterday, and they had the dunk contest, a 3-point shootout, and then had the game. And what was cool is that we really, we saw those guys. I mean, number one, the commitment that the NBA has made. They originally said it was like 2.5 million. Now it's over 3+ million that is going to historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs, and that's significant. And you see some of the highlights there. I don't know if how many people watched it. It was on TNT, but the 3-point contest. I ended up, and this is what is it? The kind of the agility skills, competition. So it was pretty cool because everything was on the same day. Like I said, they're there in the arena down in Atlanta, and they, obviously didn't have fans there, but it was pretty significant event. But again, Edwin, I mean, I think it says a lot about the NBA, the fact that they have made this commitment. And there's Steph Curry in the 3-point. I was going to say Steph Curry. So look, he was down. Look at the score. The score to beat was 27. And if the video will go. So he came down to the last ball and bam, hit it to win it.
And did I?
Yeah.
Well, I take my hat off to him, Rick, because there's no city in the United States that has more HBCUs than Atlanta. Mm-hmm. That's in Atlanta and surrounding Atlanta. And I think that was just an unbelievable gesture by the NBA is to make that type of donation to historical black colleges. Yeah, absolutely. Now here it is. Steph Curry's down 26-27. Hit that last one. Man, that was fun. But yeah, you're right. I mean, that's just, and you said this when we were talking about this, you said, the NBA really setting the tone, setting the stage, if you will, for other leagues to follow, just in terms of support of some significant, universities that are educating kids. And for people that aren't really familiar with HBCUs, the historic black college and universities were created because, black folks were not allowed to go to white universities. It was against the law. It was against the law for us to be educated. So, I mean, it was a dire need for it, Rick. And it came along and we've survived. And it looks like the NBA is helping us to continue to survive. Yeah. Not only survive, but begin to thrive. And we talked about it last week. We had a number of athletes, top athletes that are committing to HBCUs. This young man here, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, from playing for Portland. And this was let me see. No, that wasn't the game winner. That wasn't him. He won. That's not it. But the kid that we were just showing, he won the dunk contest, and his last dunk that was pretty impressive there. May not have looked like it was impressive, but when they showed the replay, they're talking about he was going to kiss the rim. He got really close and then pulled back, but he was so high, his head was looking at the rim. Yeah, I'm like, come on, man, So. It was. I enjoyed what I was able to take in yesterday, and then the All-Star game is just a lot of fun. And Giannis Antetokounmpo, I think that's how you pronounce Antetokounmpo. I always forget how it is. But anyway, close enough. Yeah, 16 of 16. I mean, he didn't miss a shot, and had a great, great All-Star game. This young man here who plays for the Trailblazers, and his last one, man, he was up so high, it was just, are you kidding me? So anyway, NBA setting. Yeah, let's see how they show this. Now look how high this kid gets. He is up there. he was going after it. He was getting ready to kiss it. Then he's like, I don't want to mess up my mother. Anthony Simons, man, he was way up there. That was pretty impressive. So anyway, just want to again take our hats off to the NBA. And the fact that, like I said, a moment ago, committing, and they say it's going to be a lot more than $3 million. But right now, $3 million going to HBCUs through all of the different events and what have you. That's significant. And I think more importantly, the awareness that the NBA players are bringing to historically black colleges and universities, hopefully will just generate more and more support. NBA's impacted the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. And so hats off and congratulations to the NBA. Well, with that said, Edwin and I, you probably heard us this weekend. We opened up our coverage of Metro League high school football Friday night under the night lights. And This past weekend we did Friday and Saturday, and this weekend coming up we're going to do Friday and Saturday as well. And then we'll have week number 3 another doubleheader. Week 4 we'll have a single game. Week 5 a doubleheader. And so it's an abbreviated season, a short season. But man, Edwin, I mean, how much fun was it to be back, even as cold as it was, to be back out there at Memorial Stadium?
Well, it was just the thing that impressed me the most, Rick, was how well the kids functioned. You know, what the coaches did to get them prepared to play a game. What the people that's over that football conference, the people that put the game together and everybody that was there, Johnny on the spot, making sure that every aspect of the game was in order. You know, the social distancing. It was a win-win-win completely all around by everybody.
Yeah, it really was. And so if you didn't have a chance to join us, make sure every weekend now for the remainder of the season, again, like I said, is an abbreviated season, obviously because of COVID, but the fact that they're out there playing, these kids are getting a chance is significant. Make sure to join us. And we also have kind of a new feature. We're going to have a player of the week, of the games that we cover. So we had 3 games. We had the Ballard Seattle Prep game won by Ballard. Then we had Garfield Rainier Beach, which was just an incredible finish. And we're going to get you some highlights of that in just a minute. And then, gosh, I'm trying to remember our 3rd game. On Saturday was Cleveland and West Seattle. And so coming up this weekend, 7:00 on Friday, we're going to bring you Eastside Catholic and Rainier Beach. That game will be from the Rainier Beach High School, the East, what do they call it? I forgot what they call it now, the Southeast Athletic Conference. Thank you. SER Athletic Complex, SEAC, but Rainier Beach High School. So we'll be there at 7:00 for that game on Friday evening, and should be a lot of fun. And then Saturday, we will bring you at least the one. Okay, I guess we're going to bring you now a couple of games. 3:00 Garfield and Seattle Prep. That was just added to the schedule. And then following that game, I believe it's 6:00 will be the Nathan Hale and Franklin game. But going back to this past weekend, so what Edwin and I will be doing, kind of unofficially, if you will, a selecting of the games that we cover, a player of the week. And Edwin, I mean, we talked about this, but what do you think? I mean, there were some great plays, some great players, and guys who made a huge impact. But there was one player in particular that I think, settled on, that we thought deserves this award. There it is, number three. So for Garfield High School, number 3 is senior Quentin Jordan. And not only did Quentin have a stellar game on the defensive side of the ball, made a lot of great plays, but it was at the end of the game. So Garfield was up, and Rainier Beach, I think it was like with about 1:50 left in the game, Rainier Beach drove down and scored to pull to within a point. Now Rainier Beach, their kicker, they were having a little bit of trouble, with the kicking game. A little bit of trouble.
This way here,
so
I'm gonna come in the ball this way here, running right at 55.
Yeah. So here you go.
Hand off, and Scottree Humphrey takes it in for the touchdown. Rainier Beach with 1:56 left to play. Beach pulls to within a point, 20-21. So a great drive, Edwin, by the Vikings at a time when they had to have it.
Okay, Rick.
So they had that. Then they decided to go for 2. So they went up 22-21. Okay. And so then the kickoff went out of bounds. And so in the Metro League in Washington State, you put the ball on the 35-yard line. And what happens? and we have that highlight. It's a little bit hard to see, but go ahead, Daniel. I think
they marked the ball at 35. So the Bulldogs have 1:56 to go. 65 yards. Or actually, they have shown their kicker. They have the foot to get it there, so they just need to get into field goal range. So the pass, and there's Jordan. Makes a stutter step inside, breaks a tackle. He's off and running. He's going to take it all the way. He's going to take it all the way on the sideline. Oh, my goodness, 65 yards.
Well, okay, we were a little excited. Huh?
Yes, I did. I got very excited.
But so the pass, from quarterback to Quentin Jordan. And Quentin, I mean, again, made a little move on the inside, then got on the sideline. And so Garfield, what a phenomenal win for the Bulldogs and for head coach Reggie Witherspoon. So congratulations to the Bulldogs as they were able to pull that out. So our player of the week is again senior Quentin Jordan. They have him listed as a WE, I guess is that what, wing back or wing? I don't know, WE, but and linebacker. But man, he was even more impressive. All kidding aside, he was even more impressive on the defensive side of the ball. He just disrupted a lot of plays against Rainier Beach. I mean, Edwin, what did you see in him? Because he just a
talented kid that played within himself and did everything his team needed to do. Although I fell in love with that big offensive lineman from Rainier Beach, number 55. He's truly a people mover. Yeah,
but no doubt.
This kid here just played out of his mind. He just was making play after play. It would be it on offense, be it on defense, special teams. He just was making plays.
Yeah, no doubt. So as part of our, student athlete of the week, going again to Garfield senior Quentin Jordan. Quentin will receive a $20 gift certificate to Emerald City Fish Company, located right here in Rainier and South Seattle, And so congratulations to Quentin, the Bulldogs.
Well, I might have to go with him and get me a fish sandwich.
Yeah, let me tell you about it. So again, Edwin, I want our listeners, to know. So again, with Metro League, and this is all part of, as a result of COVID, trying to keep everything safe, fans are not allowed to come to the games. And so if you were not able to listen this weekend, and let's say you have, could be your son, could be your nephew, your grandson, whatever the case may be, is playing, obviously you won't be able to see it, but we will bring you the games. And we will announce those games each week, obviously, of what we have. So you can hear a lot of it here on Monday Night Sports with me and Edwin. You can also hear it on Metro Sports Weekly with Masvita and Pat McCarthy from the athletic office, and they will feature a lot of what we're doing. But again, this will be your way to actually see the game, to hear the game. So again, you can listen to it, either go to our website, RainierAvenueRadio.world. You can get our app, download the app and listen. You can watch it on Facebook Live, on YouTube or Twitch. And we typically will have, when we have a full crew out there, we'll have anywhere from 2 to 3 cameras covering the game, giving you different angles and making sure that you can see the action. So, definitely tune in, and we want to bring that to you live right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. So again, this weekend, coming up on Friday, we will bring you at 7 o'clock Eastside Catholic Rainier Beach. That's at the Southeast Athletic Conference. And then there it is at 7 o'clock. That's Friday night. And then Saturday, we're going to bring you a doubleheader starting at 3 o'clock Garfield, Seattle Prep. That's at Memorial Stadium. And then that'll be followed by the Nathan Hale and Franklin game at 6 o'clock. So make sure to tune in. And one of the things that, Edwin, we've talked about this. we made a real deliberate, intentional decision when we talked about what we wanted our sports department to look like and to be, and we wanted a strong focus on prep sports and on local sports. And so people, you can get your college, your pro stuff, anywhere else, and obviously we have other shows that talk about this stuff, and we talk about it as well. But we wanted a primary focus on these young kids that really don't get the recognition, and so hopefully you get a chance to hear and see them play right here on Rainier Avenue Radio.
Hey Rick, do you have your roster there with you? Number 55 from Rainier Beach.
That was 55 was Joshua Connerly Jr., who is an 11th grader. He's a junior. And
wow.
Yeah.
I would have bet he was a senior. He looked like a senior out there the other night. That kid is going to be a very good football player. He's big. He's athletic. He's physical. Tony B told me about. He wants me to to get a belly bumper award. I guess that's something for the big guys.
The big guys, huh?
A belly bumper. Well, he's my belly bumper from last weekend.
Yeah. So the game's recovered again. The first ever belly bumper.
Yeah, I'm gonna get unique. You know, I always like to dig around in Tony B pocket.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come up with a T-shirt or something that we're gonna have to give him. You know, for the belly bumpers.
Well, I got the perfect thing you can give him.
What's that?
An autographed photo of Edwin Bailey.
Hey, don't do that, Rick. Don't make me blush.
So again, the first ever belly bumper award from Edwin Bailey goes to Rainier Beach Jr. That is Joshua Connerly Jr., number 55. Yeah, he played a game. You know, Edwin, you made a point earlier, and I don't want to belabor the point too much, but you made a point that all three games that we covered were really well played games, really well coached games. There were some errors, you know, and there were some mistakes and
first game errors.
Yeah.
But not coming out of a pandemic.
Yeah.
First game errors.
Man, come on. I mean, kids, and a lot of the practices, as you know, if you're listening, you know your kid is in this. If you're coaching, you know, there were smaller practices. They were practicing in pods. They weren't able to come together as a full team. Obviously, they had to get 10 practices in. That is a high school rule before they can play. But hats off to all of the coaches. And you know, we sat in a couple of weeks ago, coaches meeting, and I'm really impressed with the Metro League. You know, Pat McCarthy, AJ Brooks, Tar Davis, the whole team there. Everything, Talia Walton, everything that they're doing. But Monty Kohler kind of is the elder statesman, led that meeting. But it was really cool to hear, because they said, hey, you know what? It's about the kids, and let's make sure. And they talked about not only the varsity, but they talked about JV and JVC, and making sure all these kids had games to play. And that is the primary goal. It's not about who's going to win and lose and what have you, because obviously you don't have the playoffs in state and all that. We're not doing that this year. But those coaches are committed to the well-being of these young student athletes, and I just really appreciate those men and what they're doing and supporting these kids.
Well, all of my homeboys back in the southeastern part of the country that is coaching in Division I AA and Division II, you know, they're asking me about some of these guys, and I'm telling them that there is a bevy of quality football players up here in the great Northwest. And the one good thing that I love to tell them about the kids of the Northwest, they're going to graduate. Yeah. They're going to graduate. You know, they're all getting good grades. So and they want football players. Yeah. You know, they're not looking for a certain kind of football player. They're just looking for football players. Yeah.
Well, you know, we had the chance, and you actually interviewed at the halftime of the Rainier Beach Garfield game, Nate Robinson. His son Namir was playing sophomore, playing for Rainier Beach. But I remember the comment that he made to you, Edwin. He said, you know what, it's not about how much they practice or whatever. These kids were just happy to get the hat on, if you will, and go out there and play. You know,
just
strap it up
football,
and play,
man. You know, and it's good that it reverted back to that, because most of them are still fresh out of Pop Warner, and that's all they did. That's all they wanted to do. Yeah. You know, and to have this opportunity, you know, I'm happy for them, man, because they've been locked up, locked down, you know, pushed to the back. You know, now they can go out and have a little bit of fun, you know, and good for them, and good for the coaches, good for the people that was in charge, because everything looked as if it was very well planned and very well put together.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's not only football; you have a number of different sports, you know, happening now, which is really good. So the kids are getting out there, and as Edwin said, I mean, they've been locked up, you know, for a year now. I mean, literally. And I remember we were down in Yakima, and we were covering the single A state basketball tournament. And as Tony said on the air Saturday, you know, the last game was we were down in Tacoma and covering the AAA state championship game in Tacoma. We came back, and Tony and others went down to Tacoma after we came back from Yakima, and they covered that game. And that was the last game a year ago in March. And so for these kids to be able to get back out, and again, for you, those of you listening and watching, we will bring you as many games as we can. And as we go through football, we have football, basketball, we have done baseball in the past couple of years. We are going to try to get a couple of other sports in there, at least, even if it's just one game, so we can feature some of the other sports. But our primary focus, obviously, is football, basketball. We've done some baseball, like I said, and we'll continue. But we hope that in this pandemic, kind of different type of year, that we will be able to bring you some other sports as well. But it's great. Like Edwin, like you said, man, these kids get a chance to get out and do what they enjoy doing.
Yeah. We didn't, give the parents a little bit of time since nobody's allowed to come to the games. Mom and dad can sit down and put their feet up for a few minutes, knowing that they're someplace safe, they're being governed, and they can take a breath.
Yeah, no doubt. So with that said, Edwin, I want to just shift gears just a little bit, because you made a comment a moment ago, and I want you to just elaborate a little bit more on it. You're having conversations with a number of different coaches and people at different HBCUs, and they are actively interested in looking at athletes from this area.
Yeah, Rick. I've coached for about 10, 11 years at Savannah State, South Carolina State, Shaw, Benedict. I got some time in at all of those places, coaching right after my football career was over with, to see if that's the area that I wanted to get into. Mm-hmm. And I made a lot of friends, a lot of guys that I played against are coaching at that level. And, they want to know about the football players. And we have a lot of quality, talented kids up here. But, and the one thing I always stress, the kids from the Northwest, they're academically sound. Now they're gonna they're gonna get their work in the classroom, and that's the most important thing. Football is good, but the most important thing is that when you leave with a piece of paper. Yeah. And the kids from the Northwest do an outstanding job of doing that. So, if I see a kid that I like, I let them know, hey man, check over here. Especially the coaches that do a good job. Yeah. And one of the things I want to say to these young athletes, Edwin, I would like you to just talk about this a little bit as well, because, my mentality in high school is I got to go to a D1 to get recognized. And had I known and had someone like you been around to say, you know what, just go somewhere where you're going to play. Because if you're good enough, scouts, whether it's football, basketball, whatever, they're going to notice. They're going to find you. And can you talk a little bit about that? Because I think that's really relevant. Well, Rick, again, I played at a historical black college. I played for 2 outstanding coaches. My first coach was Willie Jeffries, and he eventually became the first African-American coach at the Division 1A level. Yeah. And then Bill Davis took over, who, not only was he my offensive line coach, but he eventually became my head coach, and he hired me for my first job as a coach. Mm-hmm. The HBCUs, is a great quality of talent. And you look back not just at the Division 1 AA record book, not just at the Division 2 record book, but look at the NFL record book. Mm-hmm. And the Jerry Rices of the world, the Walter Paytons of the world, the Jackie Slaters of the world, the Deacon Jones of the world, the Harry Carsons, Barney Shavers, and Donnie Shell. I had to throw them South Carolina State Bulldogs in there. But, all of those guys, man, those are quality football players, quality Hall of Fame caliber football players. And they all attended HBCUs, you know. And, hey, I was a big Georgia Bulldog fan. Mm-hmm. My favorite Georgia Bulldog, Mike Moon Pie Wilson. And then I had an opportunity to play with him up here. Mm-hmm. But it was in my best interest to attend an HBCU. And I did, and man, it was the best experience for me. And not only was it good in football, but my academics, man, my teachers in elementary education was just as demanding and just as driving me just as hard as my coaches. Driving just as hard in the classroom. And Jeffrey Scott chimed in and said he familiar with Savannah, Georgia. I think he said it. Yeah, Hinesville, Georgia. Hinesville. You know where that's at. That's my homeboy. All right. Thanks for listening. Hey, that's the second person today I've met from Hinesville, Georgia.
Oh, get out of here. Okay. All right.
And we're moving west, Rick. We're moving west.
We are out of time, but I want to remind you a couple of things. We are our celebration this month of Women's History Month, and I want to make sure that you tune in to a special programming that we have going on all month. Also, keep it right here because Lit Line is next. And until next week, for Daniel B, for the big guy Edwin Bailey, I am Dupe. And I hope you have enjoyed this edition of Monday Night Sports with Dupe and Edwin. Until next week, peace and God bless.
All right, Rick.
Brutality.